county, so it was time that we saw it happening with the latest technology. This is a paper-based voting system, which we want to make sure everybody's aware of. You know, a lot of people are concerned about the security of our voting systems in our country. And one way that we can assure that is that there is always a source paper document that one can go back to. And that's what this is. It creates a ballot, a piece of paper that is marked electronically by this device by the voter. The voter then gets to review the choices they've made to make sure, yep, that's who I meant to vote for, and I'm sure all of you will get the appropriate votes. And then goes from this device to the tabulator. So it really is a two-part system. We have a ballot marking device. This express vote is nothing but a giant pin. It is what creates the ballot. This is the scanner, the DS200. It counts the ballot. So together these make up the voting system that y'all are going to be using. Real simple to use. Voter will come in the same as it's been done for years. They'll check in. They'll be taken to one of the express votes. A blank piece of cardstock is inserted. We don't call this a ballot yet. It's just cardstock because there's nothing on it. If I could talk about this for a second. This is a real cost savings, by the way, in the long run. Because in our prior voting system here, we had to pre-print ballots. And we always, we print 100% here, Vera? 105% of your registered voters. Well, we don't usually get 105% of our folks show up. Even in the last presidential we did. And so we have a lot of wasted printing costs post-election. The nice thing about this cardstock, if it's not used in the next election, is maintained for the following election, and then it can be used then. So it's a real cost savings for the counties and those municipalities that use it. Voters will check in, they'll come to the express vote, which is the ballot marking device. Their ballot cardstock goes into it. It's fed into the unit, and now we'll activate a ballot on the screen for the voter. The voter now marks the ballot by pressing next to their choices. If it's a vote for one, it does not let you overvote. I can try all I want, and all it's going to let me vote for is one person or one selection. If allowed under law, there will also be a selection for a write-in vote. Write-in vote comes up with the keyboard, and the voter simply types in their choice, and that becomes their official selection for the ballot. A couple other nice things about this unit. It is an ADA compatible unit, which means it has been certified for use by the disabled community that we deal with in voting. One method is with an audio ballot, a voter can actually listen to all of the selections and navigate the ballot via the keypad or the screen. It's interesting, Beer and I were talking about this earlier. It's not only useful for those that have a visual impairment, if you have an issue with literacy, you can use the audio ballot to vote your ballot. But even if you can't read, it won't stop you. You don't have the embarrassment that you put it in the vote. The keypad is used for those that have a disability. It navigates the ballot by using up the that's useful for those At the end, it comes up with a review screen, so the voter has another chance to correct any errors being made on the ballot. If I decide to hold on to the vote for that person, I can press it off its back. I can change my mind. Once I check the ballot, I then will pretty much how the system works. They do both have battery backup in them, so if there's a loss of power, we estimate, it depends a lot on the volume that you use. Battery backup will last 4 to 6 hours. It's not meant to operate the system all day. It's meant to use it power backup. But it does not stop the process itself. Is there anything you want to add? Okay. The election results post-election are stored on a memory stick inside this machine. At the end of the night, a poll worker closes the poll by pressing a button on the machine. It's very simple. All the vote results are stored on the USB thumb drive. The USB thumb drive is delivered downtown to the mayor's office, where it gets accumulated and reports can be run. And so all the results are on here. So it's really, this is, I think it's cool, it's out of stainless steel, is that when polls close, the ballots are counted. We're not looking at bringing them down to have to count them that night, kind of how we used to do it in the old days. Everything is counted when you close the polls. So results get back to you quickly that night there. All we're waiting for is this stick to come from your polls. We get this stick, we run it into the computer system, and you get all the reports you need. It's a backup system so that we have multiple sticks. If there's an issue, there's just not a loss of voting data with this type of system. And kind of the great thing is, even if this stick gets run over by a patrolman from Dunbar,
Like a new corporal.
like the corporal, you know what we've got? What's inside this ballot? We got the ballots. We have that source document. We always have that source document. Sorry, Corporal, I know you will not run over anything. Except maybe the chief's foot. Anything else, young lady?
No, nothing else. We like to come up if you want to vote. But one thing I might want to say that we will have field workers to go out to pick up the sticks, or we won't put that burden on our poll workers. I don't think they want it, and we don't want them to take the stick out. So that's just checks and balances in case there's any questions, but we will be doing that. So,
How many of these machines will you have in these polling places?
you'll have one DS200, and you're going to have 3 of the express votes with this election. So we're excited about it, and we hope you all are too. And the ones that's already tried it, I think they'll really like it. So.
It's real simple. What about the ones that come in that need assistance? There'll be a lot of that, I'm sure.
Well, you always have people comes in, needs to be assisted at the precincts. 2 poll workers will assist them of opposite parties. If they want to bring somebody with them, they can. They just sign that assistant voter form and they can assist them. But I think it's, so.
One thing we're hoping with the assistive devices that are part of this unit now, that true independent voting is easier for a larger percentage of our population. Back in the days of punch card, you had to bring in somebody to help you. Somebody had to read you the choices. They had to punch that hole in the punch card for you. I'm showing my age because I know what a punch card is. But we've made so many accessibility features included in this that our real hope is that a voter can vote without assistance. We know that's not always going to be the case. And West Virginia law allows for assistance, and the poll workers are all trained on how to handle that assistance. Another question back here, Vera.
Will each machine be set up for each ward number so that the people will only have those ward
Yes.
candidates?
Yes, precinct specific. And whatever you're allowed to vote for that precinct will be on that ballot.
And we even have the system program so that somehow this is from Ward 2 and they manage to get over to a Ward 3 scanner, it won't take that Ward 3 ballot. It's specific for your ward. It doesn't allow mixed matching.
What about early
ballots.
voting? What about early voting there?
Yes.
We have 3,
You're only going to have one of these, but you're going to have 2 of those. But now, for all of them go in the same tabulator.
Early
But-
pro-
Okay, but anyway, when you do your job, you're gonna put what precinct in here, and it will pull up that, board for you. So they're still only gonna get to vote for their one.
What happens in the case of early voting, this unit is programmed, you have 3 wards here?
Seven.
7.
Yeah.
It's
Seven
pro-
precincts.
It's 7 precincts, it's programmed for all 7 precincts. And so when the voter comes in to vote, the card goes in, the poll worker is gonna tell the unit, this is precinct so-and-so. And that's, so all, in early voting, you don't have 7 of these set up because that's really overkill.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money you don't have to spend, even though I'd love you to spend the money with our company. But it's just not necessary. On election day, it's precinct specific. I go into the precinct at the high school gym, I'm only gonna see the things on the screen that are for that precinct. Sir?
How about ink cartridges? Does this thing have ink?
No, it does not, it's thermal. And so the paper has a thermal coating on it. And so the ballot printing capabilities of this printer are millions. We've gotten away from ink because the ink cartridge is dry. And you go to print a ballot and it's invisible ink all of a sudden. So we do use thermal paper now, and that has eliminated the use of ink cartridges altogether. Young lady?
What precautions have you taken against hacking?
Our hacking procedures are, number one, none of this equipment is connected to a network in any way whatsoever. And that's common in all voting systems, by the way, in our country. No matter what you hear about the Russians, they have no access to this equipment. It's not plugged into a phone jack that gets internet connectivity. They're not even interconnected between each other in a polling location. So our best security we have is access to this piece of equipment. I guarantee you, even my sweetest little poll worker working at the high school gym isn't gonna let somebody come up to this with a screwdriver and open it up. So we control security via access. It's not on the internet, it's never been on the internet. Good question, though, thank you.
I will say they're gonna be back here Friday,
Friday.
down in our senior center at 9:30 for a couple hours probably. So if you don't get a chance to use it tonight, you are more than welcome to come back Friday morning downstairs and try it then too. And tell other people to come out and visit and see it.
And it benefits Vera a lot too, that in these municipal elections, people get used to this system. Then in the next even year election, folks are gonna be very comfortable with this voting system, and it'll be easy breezy, as my grandma says.
Storage life on the ballot.
It is thermal paper. Federal retention laws say that we have to maintain a ballot for 22 months. I'm not sure what, is it 22 for West Virginia of all ballots? Our paper has been tested. We have at least a 3-year retention period with our paper, as long as it's not kept in a sauna somewhere. So that's, cold doesn't bother it, it's heat that bothers thermal paper. So we recommend that it's not stored in the attic, but a 22-month retention isn't that long of a retention period. And so we do, and Vera's very careful with her ballots that she maintains. They're securely kept, and they're kept in a climate-controlled environment.
Okay, anybody else have any questions?
I see a hand in the back.
You might mention the success they had in Putnam County using these, some of the other areas that used it.
Now, we've had about 7 other counties use this system last year, and they was very happy with them.
Our company has implemented, I think we're up to around 300,000 or 400,000 of these units in the field. This is not like a new technology that came out yesterday. This is a tried and tested technology that works very well. The Express Vote is the latest offering we have for our accessibility community and as a ballot marker, and it's been very well received also. They can even use the thing in Florida. If Florida can use it, anybody can.
Speed, how much does it help with speed?
Speed?
Like in the process of waiting in line? Like, is it faster, slower?
You know, speed at a precinct so much depends on turnout volume.
Right.
We find that there's absolutely no way to get to a scanner. That it's available, it only takes 2 seconds to put your ballot in. With 3 of these being deployed per precinct, Vera's looked closely at the numbers and the turnout, and she's comfortable that this will be a sufficient number. If in the future we think, oh my gosh, we have this huge ballot question on in Dunbar, and everybody plus 4 people are gonna show up to vote, then we can always deploy more of them that election. So we have a lot of flexibility based on what we think turnout's gonna be. If there's a real hot issue on the ballot, then we know we're gonna have to put some more out. But our goal is to get a voter in quickly. In most voting systems, we find the bottleneck tends to be at the check-in table, that's right. It's not usually at the voting process itself.
But I have great poll workers, and they do a wonderful job.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Yes, they do.
Okay, any other questions for them? Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Mayor, Mayor, am I correct, is that your title?
It was when I got here.
We'll know for sure in June. That if anyone would like to vote on the system, we'll keep the equipment up if somebody wants to practice on it a little bit. It's your call on how you want to handle it.
Well, we'll be finished here in just a minute, and I'd like for you to leave there for just a minute. Okay, with that, we're at the end.